Are you satisfied? Happy? Miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? It's time for the Michele Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Tune in daily and join our controversial topics as we talk about singles, sex, and men and women's issues. And now, the queen of relationships on the Michele Hughes Show. Always keeping it real. Your host, Michele Hughes.
Yes, you're listening to the Michele Hughes Show. Oh yes, single, sex, and satisfied. That's what we deal with each and every time that you come to our show. We are concerned about the single because singles, you are important. And we make sure every time we come, we talk about singles. I was reading something today, and it's called being single. It's a term used to describe the state of a person being single and not committed. A single person, unlike a committed person, is not involved in any relationship. A single person has a multitude of friends and acquaintances and enjoys his single status. Being single is a privilege for many, since they are free to live life individually without the pressures and expectations that are often associated with a committed relationship. Life is truly an unpredictable affair, and you have no idea about how it can change at any point in time. So some people prefer being single rather than getting committed to someone. Dealing with relationships and making them successful is not everyone's cup of tea. Relationships require emotional investment as well as a lot of time to make things work. So staying single is what people prefer usually. And many have said, I truly enjoy my singlehood. And I can attest to that. I have truly enjoyed being single. How about you? Well, tonight we're going to challenge some of you to call in and tell us about your single experience. We want to know, are you tired of singles hearing the same old things? You know, many times you hear conversations about singles, and sometimes you can deal with it, sometimes you can't. But how about this saying? You're amazing. How could you still be single? Isn't that something? People just can't get it that some people shouldn't be married. Or what about number 2? Why don't you put yourself out there more? Have you ever heard someone tell you, come on, call in? The number that you can call in tonight is 586-404-4015. Again, that number is 586-404-4015. 4015. I want you to call in and tell me, have you heard some things by you being single that sometimes you get tired of hearing people talk about you because you haven't married? I want you to call in and let's have some conversation tonight. Don't be scared. Don't be shy, because you know I can hold my own. But we are challenging you to call in and let the world know that you are proud of being a single. Oh, yes, there's nothing wrong with being single. I like what Ralph Waldo Emerson, what he says. He says, he is not a lover who does not love forever. And that's what we do, I believe, as singles. We have to learn how to love ourselves first. And if you don't know how to love yourself, you'll never know how to love another individual. So let's go on with some of the things that sometimes we're plagued with as being a single. Okay, wow. I was married by the time I was your age. Isn't that funny how people, they just don't get it just because they got married at a certain time. So now it means that you should be married too. And, different strokes for different folks. Now, just because you saw fit to get married at that time, other people are kind of happy being single. I want to tell you, here you go. Let's see here what some of the people are saying. This is what Merle Rutledge Jr., this is what he said. He says, being single is a gift. Take time to learn more about it and to enjoy it. You will find every reason not to be single again once you embrace all of its concepts and solutions. And that is so true. If we learn how to enjoy singleness, then it's not really some people may see it as a problem. It depends on how you embrace it. Well, Marianne, she says this: it's better to being alone than having a relationship full of misunderstanding and having a miserable life. And that's true, Marianne. Who wants to be miserable? You could be miserable all by yourself. If you are not with the right person, you're just in a relationship bumping heads. So who wants that test? And truly it is a test. And I have one by someone who doesn't want to be named. And he says this: in a relationship, honesty and trust must exist. If they don't, there's no point of loving. So if you can't afford to be honest, stay single. I agree with him. Honesty, I believe, is the key to everything. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, we gotta have little horns there, because I believe that if you're not happy being single, then there's no reason in you trying to further a relationship. Well, let's go on to 10 things singles get tired of hearing. Now, come on, you singles. I want you to call in at 586-404-4015. All right. Now, number 4 is you are going to end up an old maid. How many of you have been told that, girl? If you don't get married, you're going to end up an old man. No one's going to want you. You're going to be too old, dried up. Nobody want no dried up woman. And so I just believe this. You keep yourself looking good. Make sure your health is in order and all that good stuff. Then I don't know why you shouldn't be able to get married just because you're older. What's the, older people get married too. I was looking at YouTube. And there was an older couple. They had just got married. They were like 90. I think he was 100 or something. They were both in their 90s, I think. But they were old. So don't tell me about love. Love has no age limits. If you find that man that you like, oh yeah, you gonna marry him. I guess that couple just let everybody know. And she had on a wedding dress, and he had on his little tux and everything. And they looked like they were happy. So there's no age limit on how old you should be to get married, okay? Don't let anybody put you in a box. Oh no, because sometimes people just want you to. I don't know if they. I guess they want you to say that, hey, that the alarm clock is ringing. Yes, you're getting old. Well, the alarm clock might be ticking, but I can guarantee you, I'm not going to let that alarm get me all frustrated and run out there and get married to the wrong person because everyone's looking at me because they think my biological clock is ticking. No. Well, listen, I'm going to go to a break. I'm going to come right back. And because I tell you, it is funny when you think about how people look at you because you're not married. But half of them are miserable. I don't know. Let's go to this break.
We deal with more heart-to-heart issues. This is the Queen of Relationships on the Michele Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Stay with us on the Michele Hughes Show. It's the Michele Hughes Show. We keep it real. We talk about singles, sex, men and women issues. Come join the conversation on the Michele Hughes Show. Are you satisfied, happy, or miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Well, tune in daily and join our controversial topic.
All right, singles, we're back. We're going to tackle 10 things singles get tired of hearing. And I know many of you are saying, yes, I'm tired of hearing these things. They always are coming at me for some odd reason, wanting me to feel bad, but I'm good. Oh yeah, say we good. Oh yeah, we good. They say all right. Yeah. Get you some. All right. Yeah. That's right. We're good. Because I believe that if you are not content in your singlehood, you are not going to be content after you get that special person. So it is to the wise and to those who are single to understand that it's more important to love yourself and get to know you as an individual so that you can become, oh yes, that prize to him. And same thing, that he'll be just that man that you've always dreamed about. Just you always knew that he was going to come into your life because you took your time. And because you took your time, now you are being blessed with that person that you've always imagined and knew that God was going to send to you. And so let's go on. Well, I think we're on number 5. And it says here, let's see here. It says here, have you thought about online dating? Now, you know, I mean, I've had friends who have met people on online dating. I'm not, talking about nobody if that's how you met your mate. Because, I mean, some of them are still married and everything. And that's good if that's how you want to meet someone. But what if that's not, how you want to meet the person? But if that, like I said, if you have met someone that way and it's going well, I say kudos to you. We're going to give you a round of applause. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yes. That's a good thing. If you can find somebody on online dating, I say go for it. Maybe I'm a little, thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to meet someone that way. I don't know. Okay, let's go to number 6. Number 6 is you need to go on more dates. Have you ever had people tell you, why aren't you dating? You need to go out and date more. Now, should you just go out there and date the first person who comes? I still think you should use some understanding on how and what you're looking for. You just shouldn't date anyone. I was listening to somebody, they said this lady, I think she was on the Wendy show, and she was saying how she likes this guy, but she doesn't like the way he dresses. So Wendy told her, well, maybe you should just, I don't think you should put too much emphasis on his shirt. She likes, he wears like t-shirts, and she wants him to wear like a shirt, buttoned down. And so she was like, don't put too much emphasis on that. Buy him a couple of those shirts and then let him dress the way he wants, And I do believe, you can't have everything your way. You can't just don't date someone because maybe, I mean, it just depends. I mean, some things maybe you can't live with, but I do believe some things you can live with. Now, the shirt, come on now. If you're not going out to maybe a tux environment where he should have on a tuxedo or something, or a suit, that's different. But if he's just coming over to see you, I mean, it's okay. I think it's nice to dress down sometimes. I dress down. So, I mean, everybody, I guess I don't know, maybe some people don't dress down. So maybe she's that type of person that really doesn't dress down. So she wants her man to dress up all the time too. So women, come on, you men too. There are men like that. There are men who, they want you to look fine all the time. As soon as you step out, you better be looking fine for them. Don't be looking like, coming out with some, I guess, blue jeans on or something like that. So it just depends. But I guess as time goes on, the two of you will be able to talk to each other and decide on the things you like about him, that you want him to do, and vice versa. So those are things that you can kind of work out. But I don't believe you should end a relationship or don't start a relationship just because the person's he has on a t-shirt, and like the t-shirt that he's wearing. I don't think that should be. I guess we all have our little pet peeves as single people. And some, I think we can say it's okay not to have a big fight over just small things. I think major things, maybe how he handles this money, or I think those are more detailed things, because that can be a very serious situation as the relationship goes on if he doesn't know how to handle his money, or just little things that that you really have issues with. So, I mean, I can't answer that for you, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. Go easy on the person a little bit in some areas that that's not too bad, Okay, number 7 is maybe you are just too picky. That's what we were just saying. Are you just too picky? Now, come on, people. Give a person a little breath to breathe around you. You can't just get so serious until the person is getting to the point where they don't even want to be around you because you're so picky. Okay, so, lighten it up a little bit. Get serious about the major things and lighten up on some areas where you can, live with. I mean, everything, is not a major issue. Some things you have to learn to understand that that's just how that person is. And, you may have to just accept some things. Now, if it's too bad, if you feel like, nope, I can't live with that, we need to talk, well, just talk about it. But it shouldn't end the relationship just because a person is doing some things that you don't care for. I don't think those are, to me, not major things for you to get all upset about and feel like, okay, forget this, I'm out of here, I can't take this. I mean, unless the person's, I don't know what could make you do that, but I mean, we all have broken up with people. So it just depends on how major it is. That's what I'm going to say on that. Okay, number 8 is, there are great men and women out there. Why aren't you meeting any of them? I mean, haven't you had people come to you and say, well, or sometimes people bring people to you that they want you to meet. I've had friends who, I mean, one girlfriend, we would have single get-togethers, and so this one guy, he wanted to meet me, and I guess I had a little pet peeve. Now, you won't believe this. I'm not going to say that because you probably say, oh, no, Michelle. But anyway, I'm not going to say that. But he wanted to meet me, and so therefore she kind of orchestrated us getting together, on the phone first, But he just wasn't my type. Have you ever met someone, I mean, off the bat, you just pick up that, nope, this is not going to work. Really, to be true, he was a little short. I know I'm short, but he was too short. I know you probably saying, how in the world? Oh, boy, how in the world you going to talk about somebody and you are short? Well, just because you're short doesn't mean you want another short person. And I'm not saying that I don't like short people, don't get me wrong. But he was a little too short for me. And even though I'm short, I just told her, listen, girl, he's too short. He's not the right one for me. And he has some other little personality quirks or whatever. And so sometimes you could just pick up little things that you know, no, I can't, no way. And I think, and I was younger then, but I do believe that we do have preferences. And anybody says that you don't have preferences, oh no, that's not true. There's certain things that you look for in an individual. And there's some things you really, on the onset, you'll say, oh no way, I can't tolerate that. That is just unacceptable. And some things are unacceptable. And so it's nothing that you can do about it except for, if you find out that you can live with it, go for it. But if you know there's some things that it's like, no way, I know I can't live with that, then why try to force yourself into a situation that's not going to be pleasing to you? Well, let me go to some of our little quotes by some of the people who enjoy being single. And it says here that the silence isn't so bad till I look at my hands and feel sad because the spaces between my fingers are right where yours fit perfectly. Oh, look at that. See, you can find someone who you really enjoy and you hook up together, and it's just like heaven. You just get along with one another and you enjoy being with that individual just as well as they enjoy holding your hand, as he said, and putting your fingers between his fingers and just enjoying the moment because the two of you are together. See, I think that's what it's all about. Just because the two of you are together, you see, and you enjoy the conversation, you enjoy just being with one another. And that's when you know you have a relationship that you must continue and you must make that commitment. But right now, we're talking about those people who always saying stuff, 10 things singles get tired of hearing. Right now, that's what we're talking about. I think that's kind of romantic if I listen to some of those quotes. But let's get back on focus here. 10 says, don't you want children? Now, isn't that what most people think? And everybody doesn't want children. We all know that. But at a certain time, they start thinking their biological clock is ticking. Especially if you're turning almost 30 years old. You better get out there and start finding someone to get married so you can have some children. And so many of us have done that because we didn't want the biological clock to catch us. And we weren't married. And we didn't want to be a statistic. And so that's why we ran and just got married. And sometimes we ran and married the wrong people. So don't listen to these people. You singles, you take your time. Don't let anyone rush you into a relationship too fast, and then you're going to find yourself miserable and wondering, how did I get myself in that jam? And so you don't let anyone coach you or force you into something that you're not ready for. I believe that being single it's a wonderful thing. It really is a good experience, and especially if you have done some of the things that you've enjoyed doing. I believe this is the time that you should do things that you've always wanted to do. And those are some of the things I did. I know with my own life. There are places I wanted to work. I worked at those places. And oh my God, just things that I've wanted to experience. I never wanted to say, I wish I had done that. And I think I could remember back my grandmother saying that she wished she had done some things. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't ever want that to be a part of my life, thinking, I wish I had did that. And so singles, this is your time to not have any regrets, to go on and do those things that you've always wanted to do. If you wanted to start a business, I always wanted a business. And those are things that I did. I started my own business. I've had, a number of businesses. And so I believe that if you don't do those things that fulfill you as a single now, you are going to have regrets when you get to with that person, because you're going to think they're holding you back. If I had married this person, I could be free to do this or do that. Well, see, this is the opportunity so that you won't have all that baggage when you get married. This is the opportunity, people, to do those things that you've always wanted to do. So you won't think back, oh, I wish I had started my shoe business, or, oh, if I had just traveled to France, or, oh, I just always wanted to live in another city. Do those things that you always felt in your heart, and you know that God's giving you a peace about it, that you need to do it. So you won't have any of those things to sit back and look at your husband when you get married and thinking that he's the cause of you not being successful or doing those things that you've always wanted to do. So I believe that if we take our singleness and begin to utilize it, if you wanted to go to college, maybe some of you always wanted to go to a business school, or maybe you wanted to just do whatever it is that you know in yourself that you wanted to do. Don't put any parameters saying maybe next year. Set some goals for yourself. I believe that if we write down, we journal, begin to write some things down, begin to say, okay, this year, before this year goes out, write down those things that you want to accomplish. And I believe if you write those things down, you won't have all those regrets when you find yourself in a relationship. You won't be looking at him like, oh, I wish I had married because I could be doing this, I could be doing that. And why can't you continue to do some of the things that you want to do even after you get with that person? Those are things that we should talk about when we're dating, so that we won't spring anything on that person as if, oh, I forgot to tell you. Now that you have the wedding ring on your hand, you forgot to tell him. No, you didn't forget to tell him. You knew all the time what you wanted to do. So I believe that if we'll begin to be honest and be truthful while we're single in our relationships, once you meet someone, okay, then you won't have to spring things on that person. Why not enjoy your singleness? And when you are single and you meet someone, why not enjoy the person that you're with? And you enjoy that person by spending time, quality time with that person. So that all these things that people are saying or that you hear, forget about those things that people are saying. Don't concentrate on all the negative things that people might be saying because you're single or what have you. If you worry about that, then you'll never meet the person that you should be with, because you're so busy worrying about what people are thinking about you being single. That's never been my concern, to be truthful. I knew my goals. I knew the things that I wanted to do. And I didn't care if my girlfriends got pregnant, they got married. It never rushed me into making any quick decisions, because I knew the goals that I had for myself. And if you don't set goals for yourself, you always feel like someone's doing something that you wish you could be doing, and you become jealous and envious. I believe that's where envy comes from, because you become jealous. Oh, why they meet that man? Well, excuse me, is that maybe in one of those things it was saying maybe they put themselves in the right place to meet the right person. I believe we can end a lot of our jealousy of people in good relationships if we would spend more quality time with ourselves and working on those things in us that needs to come out, so that once we get with that person, you don't have to get all that garbage. And now you hit cooking up with his garbage and your garbage. It's just too much frequency, it's too much added baggage. And somewhere, this is the time, I'm stressing that this is the time to figure out the things that you want to do in life, things that you enjoy. Do you really know what you love to do? I mean, that's a question that you may ask yourself. Well, listen, let's get on to another wholly different topic right now. But we're going to say this. The 10 things singles get tired of hearing. And we just discussed those things. But one thing I can say out of all those things, when you know who you are and you trust that you are in your right place, no one can make you feel bad about where you are in your singleness. You will enjoy the state that you're in because you are living your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, all the expectations that you desire. This is your time to make it right now. so that when you join with that person, you two can make each other happy. Well, listen, I want you all to come back. And remember, what do we do here? We keep it real.
Thanks for tuning in to the Michele Hughes Show. Join us daily. For more hot topics with the Queen of Relationships. Always keeping it real. See you tomorrow on the Michele Hughes Show.